Thank you, everybody, for having us. We're excited to speak to you today. Stacy and I will be speaking a little bit about the NFT impacts on Web3. Although we just had a great presentation a moment ago, we just like to share our thoughts on how we see the space. Should I share my screen?
Yep.
The internet that's been evolving in a more decentralized and secured way than Web 1 and Web 2. It's promising technology that's attempting to reclaim an individual's control over personal information and processes, but also it's the buzzword of the moment. However, it's not fully formed yet. There are all kinds of aspects that are happening. For example, you have OpenSea and you have different projects that are coming forth that are decentralized, but we do not have a fully fledged Web3 available for usage yet. From our experience in the Web3 ecosystem, we found that the utility offered by the NFTs has accelerated online possibilities for creators and users. Through our online and in real life engagement, we've seen the power of community solve social impact problems, bridge global communities, and create new pools of wealth, as witnessed in 2021. So if we drill down into the data, we've seen the cryptocurrency markets that underpin the network protocol layer. That's what they call layer 1. And that network protocol layer basically was about 100 million US dollars in 2017, of May of 2017, and it grew to about a $3 trillion market cap by November of 2022, peaking at that time. Now, I think the coincidence media rise was the NFT projects themselves. So in the beginning, you had crypto, you had the ICOs in 2017, and then you had the NFTs that offered utility on top of that. So I think the impact of NFTs is quite substantial to cryptocurrencies. And if you want to go to the next slide. So this is just a kind of a slice of giving you a quick look at the tech stack. So what a Web3 tech stack would look like. On the layer 1, it would be the blockchain or the network protocol level. Level 2 is a subchain. You think about Polygon. Level 3 is a decentralized application or a DApp. Think OpenSea and the application protocol level. So Bitcoin did not have this application, and that's why Vitalik Buterin created the Ethereum system along with some of his friends. And applications are building on top of that every day. And of course, we have to be cognizant of the energy, that usage, as mentioned in the previous presentation. That is very important. But I think, with the pivot to POS, proof of stake, that's going to resolve some of those issues. On the 4th slide, we talk about, this shows you a little bit about the evolution of the internet. So Web 1, if you think back, I think I was in high school when Web 1 came out, a monochrome computer, but Web 1 had basically expert content, but it was a centralized system. And it was a very simple internet. It was a read-only type of internet. You would go to a website, you would read the data that was there, and you'd be very happy and lucky that you actually got to log on to it, especially with the slow modems at that time. Fast forward to Web 2, and you have the blogger generation, social media. It was still a centralized system, and it was a social media kind of read and write, so back and forth. You have the foodies that came out, and you have all these different type of blog posts that came out. Everybody started blogging with their smartphones. So that was Web 2 version. And along that as well had e-commerce, right? Like think of Amazon and eBay and things like that. Now Web 3, what's promising to be is a decentralized and a personalized stream. And at this point, we have artificial intelligence coming in. So if you remember the movie 2001, it was like, Good Morning, Dave. So all of a sudden we have this automation that's taking over the verticals across the world, and automation. And so we have the semantic web, I should say. And that's where AI and machine learning browsers, like think about Siri and think about Alexa on Amazon and all the other ones that are out there. So you have a read, write, and execute web system. And the whole point about this is the decentralization and kind of pulling back that data, because right now, if you use some of these corporate services, that data is stored and that big data is worth money. And for me personally, it wouldn't be an issue if they gave me a discount for using their platforms, if they're going to be repackaging and selling your data. And just moving along to the 5th slide, showing all the progress here. we, Stacy and I both belong to a social group called Royal Society of Players. And what they tried to do was once the ICO wave was finished, the NFT wave started out, and we were looking for community. So we're online community. It's a social group. We started in the US, but obviously we've built out towards Abu Dhabi, Hong Kong, London, Sydney, Taipei, and Tokyo. But look at the artwork. This is this card, this Ace of Spades, was done by Obon Jones. This is one of his beta versions. So just the intricate artwork is appealing. The aesthetics of it is very appealing. One, so collectability. So we go into the collection side of it. So for NFTs, the playing cards designed by Odin Jones, the collectability of it, just the intricate nature of it is very appealing, but also what it means to be, it's like baseball cards. I'm from the US, and when we were small, we collected baseball cards, and we would trade cards with each other and things along those lines. So this creates that engagement with people across the world, and I think that's very important in our society at this time, both in the US and around the world, with everything that's going on. Our second collection was poker chips, and they were also designed by Oban Jones. And then we made it to a 3D. So they're using the technology that comes to hand. And they had the chips that were spinning, which was very interesting. And then again, those chips had different utility. And we just create layers and layers of gamification across these things. And that just pulls all of this together. So you think about cryptocurrencies, you think about Web3, you think about how all these things kind of combine together. You see that big push when people can engage with each other, when people can reach out to another human being across the planet. That's a positive thing. And once we've seen that happen, we see that the impact to the currencies, to the cryptocurrencies. I mean, there was it went up to 4,900 on Ethereum. It's fallen back to about the 1,300 level, but I think it will rally back once we have another leg down, given the global macro structure, the global macro, how it's playing out around the world. The gamification side of it, again, we go back to the collectability. So you'd do hands versus hands, and then the rarity aspect of it. So it's art appreciation and trade. So it's not just a simple, you're meeting someone. It's all these different things. You can learn to appreciate art. You can learn how to do art. We have workshops. We have children teaching children. We have a Joker's Lounge where there's a limited edition. So there's a very rare club, and they kind of share alpha with each other. And then we also have sharing with the groups and things like that. So it's a very engaging process, and I think it's a positive for the space in general. So essentially what it breaks down is RSOP is just a global NFT social club. It's connecting members from all backgrounds and skill sets through appreciation of art, community, and games. And we continue to adjust our course as the space changes. So when the proof of work shifted to proof of stake, there was a lot of concern in the market. And I think our previous presenter had mentioned it as well, about the control. So there was a decentralization aspect to all of this. But once the proof of stake came in, the energy usage dropped 99%. That's correct. But now the concern is about a re-centralization of the validation nodes. Now that concerns a lot of people, because that goes against everything that a certain sect of people wanted from this space. And following that line of thinking, Stacy will be talking about Remarkable Women Collection that we also are engaged with, and it speaks to the underrepresentation of women in crypto and NFTs. So if we want to go to the next, slide, I'll just get Stacy real quick.
Hi everyone, I'm Stacy. So I'm going to use the rest of the session to talk about introduce one of our projects, which is a purpose-driven, women-focused and women-led NFT project. I'm leading the marketing and community building globally, and work with our Metaverse team in New York closely to develop our global branding and presence. So last year, it's really fast growing NFT world in 2021. It's exciting to see that some NFT creators, traders, and then investors are finding innovative ways to lead with impact in the NFT space. Web3 ought to be a place where we, all the NFT holders in our collective future, work with each other to avoid imminent environmental and social catastrophe, and deliver on the promise of a humanity and co-create a regenerative and abundant future. So this February, we launched an impact-focused NFT called Remarkable Women NFT Collection, which is by Toronto-based illustrator Rachel Winter. It is a celebration to all women, inspired by feminism, fashion, and cultural diversity, all recurring themes in Winter's traditional work. And then we brought her onto our platform, House of First, to work with her and bring her into the Web3 world. The art is really appealing with a vibrant palette and bold patterns. The collection showcases powerful messages of hope, inspiration, and affirmation in 15 languages. So it does really have the global appeals, and everyone can try to find the representation of themselves. It's very inclusive. We try to get women, children, family, and a man into the community to promote and to advocate the philosophy and the value behind the project. So Remarkable Women's ultimate purpose is to uplift and empower women. And also, like for me, I have a 7-year-old son. I want to focus on empowering children as well in this space and just in general in life. And it's going beyond merely just showcasing women in the images. Our commitment began at the launch of the project, where 10% of its draw proceeds, about 50,000 US dollars, were dedicated to our partner, philanthropic partner, the Fund for Women's Equality, which is working to end all forms of inequality, especially like gender equality, everywhere in the world. 10% of all secondary sales, because NFT can be traded on the secondary market, and the revenue comes into the project, will allocate a 10% to the Remarkable Women's Impact Fund. These proceeds earmarked for global causes such as women's justice, equality, and inclusion, with this remarkable difference. It isn't a board of supervisors that decide where the money goes and who it will impact, is the community decides and votes. So on Discord, that we will have a special channel for this fund. So all the members who can nominate the NGO or the projects where that work towards the causes we support, and everyone owns an NFT can have one vote. And so what we'll do is like suddenly like every quarter, and then we donate the money and our community, if we can, we will also like try to make effort and to work with those NGOs that we donate to. So here you can see that we're currently implementing the roadmap 1.0. So you can see that we are trying to form a very diverse community where we have ambassadors to take leadership in the area they either have the passion for or they have expertise in. So they try to brainstorm. I will lead the effort to raise awareness of the community and the causes that we support. We also have like our signature program, like our W mentorship program. This is a really like try to bring the young leaders or the younger people or people who want to develop their career in Web3 or in any like diverse areas in life. We try to creating environments where they can easily to do self-learning or learn from our senior people. So leveraging communities' strengths and assets to achieve the goals. And I will also try to develop a strong global media and the social organizational partnerships. We try to work with the global NGOs and also like some organizations where we can access the underprivileged people that we can contribute and also raise the awareness that of the collective effort in the social work or charity work. And we also provide access to ongoing education program, that is in-house education program, including crypto, metaverse, NFTs, and the Web3 topics. And the last and not least, that we try to foster collaboration and building cross-generation leadership. This is like one of our biggest missions that we'll try to educate and create the best environment for next generation. And we'll try to bridge the gap between Web 2 and Web 3. I think the previous speakers also showcased the Web 1, Web 2, and 3, and Joe also mentioned that journey that we're all in. I hope that our project can contribute and try to help each other and to achieve that goal. Last page.
Oh, just ask him to change the slide
Oh,
there.
can we go to next page, please? Okay. So we've
Sorry, back one slide. Sorry. There you go.
Yeah. So I just try to showcase the some events and the things we have done globally, and especially that I moved back to Hong Kong and try to build up Asia presence, which includes several countries like Hong Kong, Taiwan, Thailand, Singapore, and we'll try to reach out to the communities there in Europe, especially in Portugal. We feel like a deep connection to Portugal that they have great talents, especially in Web3 and then data analytics, groups like yourself. We're very excited and then very honored to be invited to speak here. So you can see that we have some media exposure. We worked with Forbes and some other major medias to promote our idea and then to tell and explain why we're doing this and what we can achieve through NFT projects. And then we try to, forge innovative avenues of impact because there are so many ways, the traditional ways, and then if this is for Web3, what we can do, to bring impact. I think that so many entity projects they have their purposes, and we are one of the most important projects based in New York, and then we try to develop it globally. And as I said previously, we formed a diverse community with our ambassadors and also the mentorship programs. So you can see this example here. You can see their profile photo. Some of them use the real photo. You can see myself with a hat that we have some merchandise with our logo and the T-shirts for our members. And you can see some of them use the PFP, like from House of First platforms projects, like the Remarkable Women. You can see they used everyone, like the robot, the left corner, the pink one, and also Metaverse players, MVP, Sophia. So each of them like taking the leadership in their area, including investments, finance, asset management, fashion, private banks, private equities. You can see high tech technology, media, magazine, retail, cosmetics, food, sustainability, private banking, and myself. I have expertise in charity work. I try to connect some NGO and with our community strength. We try to provide more resources to help the small to medium organizations. And it will also actively participate the webinars, try to promote the ideas and education program through different platforms or medias. So you can see it's here K11. They are trying to build the platform for people who love arts, technology, retail business, even some NGOs. So I also actively speak on different conferences, especially for women focused and women led projects and or efforts. We also have like communications, so we need to communicate with our community like globally. So we have Twitter Spaces. Usually we do this on the weekly basis. And then we also have some active members always on Discord chatting with each other like on a daily basis. We also have Google Meets to deliver our podcast or education programs. We actively participate in our places in Hong Kong, in Abu Dhabi, in Dubai, in Taiwan. We have our NFT projects and artwork exhibited in Hong Kong once, and we will do that in Dubai very soon, probably by end of this year. We also hold lots of in real life events versus virtual environment in the metaverse. It is very important for some of the members who want to meet people in real life. So I also do like sports events and also the events for children or like charity work, some workshops to discuss crypto investment and Web3 knowledge. And we try to get people from different industries, sectors, areas to mingle, to brainstorm the ideas to create the future of Web3. So this is what we have done. There are more fun and more activities to come. Um, I hope that's we will see you very soon in Portugal next year, or like anytime soon. That we'll come here to, do some events, introduce our projects, and involve some of you.
Well, you guys.
And just thank you very much. Just that last slide here, we just wanted to wrap it up. So just the impact of NFTs to the Web3, and it just reiterates that point as evidenced in the exponential growth that we saw from 2017 to 2022. And you drew down into the data. The next wave of cryptocurrency will include retail companies exploring the new useful and practical applications. And as a previous presentation reported, already Roblox, we're already seeing that. So expect the next step to step into Web3, and that will happen right after we bottom out in the next couple of quarters, I think. But we do appreciate the time you've given us and the opportunity, and we look forward to seeing you guys next year in person.